I used to think I was special, not in a narcissistic way. Not exactly. But I believed there was a reason I felt so different, so out of place. That maybe all the awkward silences, all the lonely nights, all the overthinking, it all meant something. College made me believe it. Every class I aced. Every professor who said I had promise. Every friend who said I was going somewhere. It built something inside me. A quiet arrogance. A sense that I would leave that campus and the world would be ready for me. That I would step out into the real world and it would open its arms. I thought I would walk across that stage and the sky would part, but it didn't. I graduated last month. Bachelor's in communications, top of my class, honors cords, the kind of resume you're supposed to be proud of, the kind people tell you is your ticket to something more. But here I am, sitting in my childhood bedroom, staring at the cracks in the ceiling, trying not to think about how none of it really meant anything. No job, no callbacks, just endless, we've decided to move forward with other candidates. No money, no idea what to do next. And worst of all, no fire left in me. Every day is the same. I wake up around 11, lie in bed another hour, scroll through LinkedIn posts of people pretending they're happy, click apply on listings I know I'll never hear back from, eat something that tastes like cardboard, pretend I'm okay when my mom asks, then repeat. I went downtown last weekend. I thought, maybe I could go for a walk, get out of my head. It was sunny. People were out, laughing, living. But it felt like I was looking through a window, like I wasn't part of it. I sat at a coffee shop and listened to the girl next to me brag about her internship at a fashion firm. Her dad got her in, of course. Across from her, a guy was on the phone yelling at someone about stocks. Another group of people laughed over something on someone's phone. Loud, fake, exaggerated laughter. I wanted to scream. It's not just that I feel small, it's that I'm starting to realize how self-centered people really are. No one cares if you're struggling. No one wants to hear that you're lost. They smile and nod. But they're just waiting to talk about themselves. It's like I've woken up to this cruel joke. That the world isn't waiting for anyone. That everyone is out here fighting for themselves. And I'm just now seeing it. I used to think I mattered. Now I wonder if I'm just one more voice shouting into the void. There's this mirror in the hallway at home. It's warped, old, cracked along the bottom edge. When I walk past it, I look distorted, shorter, wider, almost like someone else entirely. That mirror feels honest because that's how I feel, like I'm shrinking, not physically, but in the way that matters more. In my dreams, I used to be something. Now, I'm just a guy who's not sure what he's doing. Just a graduate with a diploma that doesn't mean anything to anyone but me. And even that meaning is fading. I know this is just the beginning. But God, it feels like the end. Maybe tomorrow will be different. Maybe not. But tonight, I just want to disappear into the mattress. Forget the plans, forget the expectations. Forget myself, if only for a few hours, because right now, I don't feel like much at all. I stopped checking my email. It used to be the first thing I did every morning. Hope bleeding from my fingertips as I swiped down. Waiting for that one? Message that would prove I mattered, that I had a future, that all those late nights and mental breakdowns were for something. Now I don't even look, because I know what I'll find. Spam, marketing, another rejection. Or worse. Silence. Silence feels heavier than the no. It's the sound of not existing, of being invisible in a world that keeps moving, with or without you. My friends don't call much anymore. They say things like, "You'll land something soon," or "Just keep putting yourself out there." But their voices always drift, like they're already somewhere else, somewhere better, somewhere employed. One of them got a job in Chicago. She posted a picture of her new desk with a mug that said "Boss Babe" and a view of the skyline. I liked it, then turned off my phone and stared at the ceiling for 2 hours. That same ceiling I've known since I was 13. Covered in glow-in-the-dark. Stars I never took down. Now they just mock me at night, flickering memories of someone who used to dream. I tried delivering food for a while. It was humiliating. Not because of the job, but because I couldn't stop thinking, this isn't what I was meant to do. But who decides what we're meant for? Because lately it feels like the world just throws you in the deep end and watches to see if you drown. No life jacket, no direction, just the echo of your own panic. I saw a post the other day that said, your 20s are for building, hustling, finding your passion. But what if I'm tired? What if I don't have a passion? What if I don't want to hustle because the word itself sounds like a disease? It feels like everything is a performance. Everyone's smiling, everyone's thriving, everyone's pretending, and I'm just here, struggling to breathe through the weight of my own expectations. I started journaling. At first, it was just a way to get things out. But the more I wrote, the more I realized I was grieving. Not a person, not a relationship, but an identity. The person I thought I'd be by now. That version of me is dead, and I don't know who's left in his place. Sometimes I sit in the bathroom and stare at myself in the mirror. Not because I'm vain, but because I'm looking for signs of who I am, trying to recognize the stranger behind my eyes. My dad came into my room the other night. He didn't say much, just stood in the doorway with his hand on the frame. Then, he said, "Son, you're not the first to feel like this. You won't be the last." And I nodded. Because what else do you do when someone gives you a truth you already know but still hurts to hear? He left a note on my desk later. It said, "You're not broken. You're just becoming." Becoming what? I don't know. But something about those words made me cry in a way I hadn't allowed myself to before. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was the kind of cry that leaks out slow, a whisper of grief, a surrender. Maybe that's what this stage is. Not failure, not defeat, but a quiet becoming. One painful inch at a time. Something shifted the morning I saw the sun hit the window just right. It sounds stupid, but I hadn't really seen the light in weeks. It came through the blinds in soft gold lines cutting across the floor like a quiet invitation. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't roll away from it. I sat up, let it warm my face. It didn't fix anything, but it felt like a beginning, a small one. That same day, I walked to the park. No headphones, no phone, just me. There was this old man feeding pigeons. He looked like he'd been coming there for decades. I sat on a bench across from him, didn't speak, just watched. And after a while, he looked up and said, "Hard to be young and still figuring it out, huh?" I nodded. Then he said something I won't forget. "Don't rush to be someone. You're already someone. You just haven't met him yet." I didn't respond. I couldn't. My throat was too tight, but I carried that sentence home like a fragile gift. And it started to change me. I went back to journaling, but now I didn't just write about the pain. I wrote about what I still had, my legs that carry me, my hands that create, my mind that questions everything, even itself, my family, even if we don't always understand each other, and time. So much time ahead. I stopped comparing myself to people online. I deleted the apps, removed the noise, started listening to myself instead. One morning, I opened my laptop and wrote something. Not for a resume, not for a job, but for me. Just a page, about feeling lost, about waking up. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And when I read it, back I didn't feel ashamed. I felt present, alive. Later that week, I found a local nonprofit looking for volunteers. They didn't care about my GPA. They just needed someone to help kids with writing, so I went, and there I was, sitting across from a 12-year-old who told me he wanted to write comics. I helped him build his first story, watched his eyes light up, saw the gears turn. He said, "Mister, you're cool. I want to write like you one day." I smiled, not because I believed it, but because maybe, just maybe, it was okay that I didn't have everything figured out yet. Maybe being lost didn't mean I was failing. Maybe it just meant I was moving. Slowly, silently, but still moving. I started to wake up earlier, go on walks, talk to my parents more. They weren't perfect. Neither was I. But we were trying and trying. Trying counts. I applied for a job I never thought I'd get. Not because I thought I'd be hired, but because I wanted to believe I still had something to offer. A week later, they called. Interview. Then another. Then an offer. Entry level. Nothing flashy, but honest, real, and... This time, when I opened the email, I didn't cry out of despair. I smiled. Closed my eyes, took a deep breath. I didn't win the lottery, didn't suddenly become someone important. But I was moving forward. Finally. And that's enough. So here I am, still figuring it out, still scared sometimes, still uncertain, but no longer stuck. The world is still cold. People are still selfish, but not everyone. Some are kind. Some are soft in ways the world doesn't celebrate. Some are trying to survive, just like me. I'm not as big as I thought I'd be, but I'm also not as small as I feared. I am becoming. And that's not a failure, that's a life. One step at a time, and maybe, just maybe, that's enough.